Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and Marco, I can tell you right now, I'm already hungry just thinking about our lesson today.
That's right. Today we have another food lesson. Our world cuisine lesson for today is all about Mexican food.
Okay, Mexican food comes from the country Mexico, but also parts of the United States, like Texas have something called Tex-Mex. So
right.
You're going to hear a lot about these kinds of foods there. Let's check out today's dialogue.
Hello, sir. Welcome to Pistolera Restaurant. May I take your order?
Yes, I would like the chicken cheese enchiladas with a side of guacamole.
Sorry, sir, but we ran out of chicken. May I suggest our delicious beef burritos or cheese quesadillas? Both include a side of guacamole and jalapenos.
Sure, I'll have the burrito. Do you have nachos?
Of course, sir. Our nachos come with melted cheese and chili.
Sounds good.
Would you like anything to drink?
Sure, I'll have a Corona.
All right, we're back. So a lot of great dishes from Mexico. Let's take a closer look at some of those on Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
So first up, Marco, we have the word enchilada.
That's right. We have some chicken cheese enchilada. So this dish has chicken and cheese, but an enchilada, what is that?
Okay, so it's basically a wrap that is covered in cheese, right?
That's right. So it has a base of a flour tortilla. So a tortilla is like a wrap, as you said. Let's consider it as flat bread.
Very thin.
Very thin. And it rolls up and it's covered with cheese and inside it has chicken. Very, very good.
That's right. And just a warning, you're going to hear me say the American pronunciation, enchilada, and you're going to hear Marco say a more appropriate.
A little bit with a more Hispanic accent to it.
That's right. So the second one we've got is guacamole.
Guacamole. That's right. We say guacamole. And this is from the avocado fruit.
That's right. Avocados are green fruits. They have a skin. So you take the skin off and you usually mix guacamole with other ingredients.
Right. It has a little bit of lemon, onion, tomato.
Maybe a little spice. Yes.
Really good stuff. So, it comes from that fruit that you said, and it's kind of like a paste, right?
It's something that we often use as a dip. So I can dip my potato chips or my tortilla chips in it, or I can use it as a sauce.
All right, very good. And our next and probably one of the most popular dishes in the Mexican cuisine world is a beef burrito.
Burrito. So a burrito is another kind of wrap. We have a tortilla, like you said earlier. And inside there are many different things. So usually some rice and some beans and some meat, maybe beef or chicken.
That's right. So consider it kind of like a sandwich, more or less.
But in a blanket instead of in bread.
Exactly, in a blanket. And then also we have cheese quesadillas. Now also these are made from the same blanket of tortilla.
That's right. So this thin tortilla, this flour tortilla, is put on top and on bottom. And
Right.
inside you have some cheese, some melted cheese. Or other times you can have cheese and chicken. And usually you find it's a circle, but it's cut into 4 pieces. So it looks like pieces of a pie.
That's right. And actually what you do is you heat it up in a pan so the cheese inside melts. And it's very, very delicious.
It is. And sometimes you have this with a side of jalapeno.
Okay, this is some type of vegetable, I would guess.
It's a pepper.
It's a pepper.
Right. So this is a very, very spicy pepper that people often use to make things taste hot.
That's right. So you can see them. They're usually green, and they're very, very spicy. So if you bite into one, it'll burn your mouth.
It will. And sometimes people like to put these on our next dish. What's the next dish, Marco?
We have some nachos.
Okay, this is a classic Tex-Mex dish, like I was saying. So a lot of Americans love to eat this. And nachos are basically a plate of tortilla chips with what on top?
Usually it has melted cheese and maybe some chili, like we see in the dialogue. So it will kind of just consider a plate full of these chips. They look like potato chips, but they're made out of flour. And on top, a lot of cheese and maybe some meat or some chili on top.
And Americans also like to put sour cream on top.
Oh, yeah. Sour cream is very popular on this dish. So a lot of dishes, these are probably the most popular ones that you can find at most Mexican restaurants and also in Tex-Mex style cuisine. So why don't we take another look at everything, and we'll be back in a bit with Fluency Builder.
Hello, sir. Welcome to Pistolera Restaurant. May I take your order?
Yes, I would like the chicken cheese enchiladas with a side of guacamole.
Sorry, sir, but we ran out of chicken. May I suggest our delicious beef burritos or cheese quesadillas? Both include a side of guacamole and jalapenos.
Sure, I'll have the burrito. Do you have nachos?
Of course, sir. Our nachos come with melted cheese and chili.
Sounds good.
Would you like anything to drink?
Sure, I'll have a Corona.
All right, so Marco, today we have only 3 things to talk about in Fluency Builder. The first one is something that the waiter said to the customer. It was to run out of.
That's right. He wanted some chicken cheese enchiladas, but unfortunately they ran out of chicken. So the phrasal verb here is to run out of.
That's right. And we heard the past tense. So unfortunately, we ran out of chicken. This means that we no longer have chicken. We sold all of the chicken.
That's right. So for example, if you're in your car and all of a sudden you run out of gasoline, it means your car will stop running.
That's a very bad situation. So to run out of means to not have any more.
That's right. So you ran out of money. Maybe you have no more money.
Another bad situation.
All right. So instead he ordered a burrito that included a side of guacamole and jalapenos.
Okay, so the reason we included this is because it's important to remember this as a phrase, a side of.
That's right.
So this burrito comes with a side of guacamole, or this burrito has a side of beans. So a side of means a small portion, a little bit.
That's right. The most important part of a side of is that it doesn't come in the dish or inside the burrito, let's say. It just comes separately on a separate little plate.
Or it can come next to the main dish. So if the main dish is tacos, you can say, I want tacos with a side of black beans. You would get the black beans in a little bowl next to you. But that's not the main thing.
Exactly. So a side of. Now, for our last phrase, when we talked about the nachos, they came with melted cheese and chili. So what do we mean by they come with melted cheese and chili?
Okay, so this verb to come with means that they have as a part of the dish. So this is not a side.
Right.
Not like before when we were talking about a side of. This means that in the case of nachos, the nachos have on them, on top, cheese and chili.
That's right. So sometimes if you go to McDonald's and you buy a meal, you get a burger, and the burger comes with French fries and a Coke included in the meal.
Or you can say, unfortunately, this meal does not come with a drink. So you have to order the drink extra.
That's right. Okay, so a lot of great stuff. Let's take another look and we'll be right back.
Hello, sir. Welcome to Pistolera Restaurant. May I take your order?
Yes, I would like the chicken cheese enchiladas with a side of guacamole.
Sorry, sir, but we ran out of chicken. May I suggest our delicious beef burritos or cheese quesadillas? Both include a side of guacamole and jalapenos.
Sure, I'll have the burrito. Do you have nachos?
Of course, sir. Our nachos come with melted cheese and chili.
Sounds good.
Would you like anything to drink?
Sure, I'll have a Corona.
All right, so Mexican food, very, very delicious. And as we see, it has a lot of cheese in most dishes.
It does. A lot of cheese and also a lot of tortillas. So tortillas are these usually round, flat, pancake-like things. They're not sweet. They're savory. And you usually put things in them like tacos or fajitas or burritos.
That's right.
And there's 2 kinds, right?
That's right. So you have tortillas that are made from flour that are usually white. And then you have corn tortillas that are made from corn, and they're usually a little bit more yellow.
That's right.
So it's actually, Mexican food is very, very good, but usually it's a little bit spicy. So if you don't really like spicy food, you should tell the waiter or waitress to not make it spicy.
That's right. If you don't eat spicy food, you certainly don't want to eat any jalapeno peppers.
That's right. I'm actually not really a fan of spicy food. So For example, I really cannot eat jalapeno peppers.
See, I'm the opposite. I love spicy food, so I often order green enchiladas, which have a spicy jalapeno green sauce.
Yeah, they're very, very spicy. So this is part of our mini-series that we have all about world foods. We've already taken a look at Italian food. We have Mexican food. Next, we'll be looking at Indian food, Korean food, a lot of great international foods coming up.
Yummy. So let us know, do you like Mexican food? Have you ever had Mexican food? And if we left off some kind of Mexican food like tacos, let us know.
That's right.
Our website is englishpod.com. We'll see you there.
All right, bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
A type of beer from Mexico. Corona. A spicy green pepper. Jalapeno. A dip of mashed avocado mixed with tomato, onion, and seasonings. Guacamole. To become liquefied by warmth or heat. Melt. A tortilla folded over a filling. Burrito.
Let's try that faster.
A tortilla folded over a filling. Burrito. A spicy green pepper. Jalapeno. To become liquefied by warmth or heat. Melt. A type of beer from Mexico. Corona. A dip of mashed avocado mixed with tomato, onion, and seasonings. Guacamole.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Melt. Hey, could you please melt this cheese for me? Melt. Yuck, my chocolate melted. I hate melted chocolate. Melt. I like to melt my butter and put it on bread. Corona. We always get the same beer. Let's get some Coronas. Corona. This Corona tastes weak. I like my stronger Australian beers. Corona. I love to put some lime into my Corona. Jalapeno. This jalapeno is so hot. I need water. Jalapeno. I love to have jalapenos on my pizza. Jalapeno. I will give you $100 if you can eat 10 jalapenos. Guacamole. My favorite dip in the world is guacamole. Guacamole. She always has guacamole with crackers. Guacamole. Can you buy an avocado? I want to make guacamole. Burrito. A burrito is a great late-night snack to have. Burrito. I like my burrito to have chicken and cheese. Burrito. I'm sick after eating so many burritos.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we have a delicious lesson all about Chinese food for you.
That's right. Today we are ordering Chinese food. Now, for many of you listeners that are actually Chinese, you may not recognize these dishes because we are talking about American Chinese food.
That's right. So long ago, people came over to America from mainly Hong Kong. And so a lot of the food we have is kind of more like Hong Kong food.
Cantonese food.
But it's also very American. So let's take a listen to today's dialogue and find out exactly what we're eating.
Hi, welcome to Happy Buddha. Can I get you anything to drink?
Coke for me, please.
I'll have a Sprite. Okay, I'll go get that for you. Are there any questions with the menu?
Do you use MSG?
No, ma'am. We are MSG free.
Oh, man. I haven't had Chinese food in so long, I want everything. This place has the best sesame chicken.
Yeah, I've been craving Chinese for such a long time. I used to get takeout all the time. It's definitely been a while. Let's start off with some crab rangoon.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. I think I'm going to get the sesame chicken with fried rice, a spring roll, and egg drop soup.
It's so tempting to order everything on the menu. It all looks so appetizing. I think I'll get General Tso's chicken, hot and sour soup, fried wontons, and white rice.
Aren't you supposed to be on a diet? You should at least get brown rice.
I don't think so. I hate brown rice. And I'm so sick of eating healthy all the time. I've been eating so much salad, I swear I've forgotten what meat tastes like. There's no better remedy than some nice, greasy, calorie-laden Chinese food. I might even get an order of broccoli beef.
Oh, gosh, I'm so hungry. Let's call the waitress over.
All right, we're back. So obviously everything seems so good. Very typical American Chinese dishes. And we have a lot of things that we can take a look at. So let's start with language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
In Language Takeaway today, we're going to be talking about some general food words that you can use when you're ordering food. So the first one we should talk about is this MSG.
Right. Andrea asks, do you use MSG? So why is she asking this, and what is MSG?
MSG is an ingredient in foods. It's kind of like a condiment, something that you put on the food after the food has been cooked. And it makes the food taste better, brighter. You know, it
intensifies the flavors a little bit.
Yeah, and it's kind of, it looks like salt or sugar. It's on the tables usually at Chinese restaurants, but a lot of people don't like MSG because they don't think it's very safe for their bodies.
Right.
And so actually the waitress says that the food is MSG free, which means there's no MSG in it.
That's right. Okay, so she says our food is MSG free, which is this chemical. I think it's kind of like a chemical that you described.
That's right. And a lot of people don't want it. So you can ask, is this food MSG free? You could also ask, is it fat free? Is it salt free? So this is a very helpful way of asking about what the ingredients are in a dish.
That's right. That's right. And actually, Manny is talking about the food as well. And he says, yeah, I've been craving Chinese for such a long time.
Okay, so the verb here is to crave, but he said he's been craving. So he really has been wanting this food for a long time.
So if you say, I'm craving Italian food, what does that mean?
That means I really want to eat Italian food.
You feel like having Italian food.
That's right. So I'm craving some kind of food. I really want to eat it.
Okay. And he said that he used to get takeout all the time. So he's obviously talking about Chinese food. What does he mean by takeout?
Well, takeout is the opposite of sitting down in a restaurant and eating food. Takeout is what you do when you want to go home and eat it. So in many restaurants, you can order the food and then you go and you pick up the food and you bring it home.
Okay, so that's takeout. So it's a noun. You get takeout.
Right, but it's a little bit different from a different kind of takeout. There's takeout where you order the food and you pick it up and you bring it home. But there's also delivery, and delivery is when you order the food and someone else brings it to you.
Okay.
So be careful with those two.
All right, very good. And moving forward, Manny kept talking about the food and said, wow, everything on the menu looks so appetizing. It all looks so appetizing.
Okay, appetizing is a way to describe something. In this case, we're describing food. So that's normally how we use the word appetizing. So appetizing basically means that you're excited about eating this food because it looks like it will be good.
So what about the word appetizer? Does this have anything to do with it?
I think appetizer is something that makes you want to eat more. That's why it's at the beginning of a meal. You have your appetizer before you have your main course. But the word appetizing means that, it's very appealing. You really want to eat it.
It looks good. It looks delicious.
great.
Okay, very good. And Andrea was worried because Manny is ordering so much food. She asks, aren't you supposed to be on a diet?
Okay, so this is a phrase, and I want to remind everyone to keep this phrase in mind. You can diet, which is a verb, but in this case, you're on a diet, so it's a noun. I'm on a diet. I'm trying to eat healthily. I'm trying to watch the things that I put in my body. So usually if you're on a diet, you don't eat really greasy, fatty takeout Chinese food. You eat salads and soups.
Okay, so you are on a diet.
Yes, he's on a diet, or I was on a diet, but I stopped.
All right, a lot of great appealing food. Why don't we go and listen to our dialogue again? And we'll be back with Language Takeaway Part 2, where we're going to take a look at the specific American Chinese dishes.
Hi, welcome to Happy Buddha. Can I get you anything to drink?
Coke for me, please.
I'll have a Sprite.
Okay, I'll go get that for you. Are there any questions with the menu?
Do you use MSG?
No, ma'am. We are MSG free.
Oh, man. I haven't had Chinese food in so long, I want everything. This place has the best sesame chicken.
Yeah, I've been craving Chinese for such a long time. I used to get takeout all the time. It's definitely been a while. Let's start off with some crab rangoon.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. I think I'm going to get the sesame chicken with fried rice, a spring roll, and egg drop soup.
It's so tempting to order everything on the menu. It all looks so appetizing. I think I'll get General Tso's chicken, hot and sour soup, fried wontons, and white rice.
Aren't you supposed to be on a diet? You should at least get brown rice.
I don't think so. I hate brown rice. And I'm so sick of eating healthy all the time. I've been eating so much salad, I swear I've forgotten what meat tastes like. There's no better remedy than some nice, greasy, calorie-laden Chinese food. I might even get an order of broccoli beef.
Oh, gosh, I'm so hungry. Let's call the waitress over.
All right, we're back. So now let's take a look at those delicious American Chinese dishes on Language Takeaway Part 2.
Language Takeaway.
And so here we are with a number of delicious and very appetizing dishes. These are things that you'll normally find in an American Chinese restaurant. The first one is called crab rangoon.
Okay, so this doesn't sound very Chinese at all.
Now, Rangoon is actually a city in a country called Myanmar or Burma. And crab rangoon is a special deep-fried dish that's like deep-fried dumplings, but on the inside there's cream cheese and crab.
Crab meat.
That's right.
All right, so it's kind of, as you said, like a dumpling, but inside you have cream cheese and crab.
Right.
All right, very good. Now, they also talked about getting the sesame chicken with fried rice.
Okay, so sesame is a very common ingredient in cultures all over the world. And sesame is a kind of seed. But some people also use some sesame oil in their cooking. And so these all come from these white, small seeds. And sesame chicken is a kind of chicken that's cooked with sesame seeds.
Okay, very good. And obviously, we know what fried rice is. It's just basically rice in a pan with sometimes a little bit of meat and egg and just fry it all together. But what about spring rolls? I think these are one of the typical Chinese dishes that everyone knows. And actually, it's a Chinese dish as well.
I love spring rolls, although I've never gotten an American spring roll in China. The spring rolls we're talking about here are basically wrappers, these like wonton wrappers that are stuffed with meat and vegetables, and they're rolled up so they look like a long roll, and they're deep fried.
So spring rolls are, as you said, little rolls with meat and sometimes vegetable inside. Not really sure why they call it spring roll, though.
I don't know either. Maybe it has to do with the ingredients, like they're vegetables from the spring.
Maybe. Now, another one that I actually really, really like is this egg drop soup.
This is delicious. This is a very simple soup, and the when you're cooking it, you break an egg, and the egg is mixed into the soup, so it looks like it's kind of got these yellow pieces floating, but it's a really nice simple soup with egg.
Okay, and that's what it's called, egg drop soup. Now, you mentioned the wonton wrappers, and they also mentioned fried wontons. What are wontons?
Okay, wontons are also known as hundun in mainland China, but this is a special kind of dumpling. It's got a piece of dough, basically, that's flattened out, and inside there's meat, maybe some vegetables, and sometimes you eat it in soup. But here we're talking about fried wontons, deep fried wontons. So you put them in the deep fryer, and they're fried so that they're crunchy and the insides are soft.
Actually, this is one of my favorite dishes, the original one in China, though, as you said, the hundun, because it's like in a soup.
Yes.
And it's very simple, but you have like dumplings in a soup. But the fried ones are also very, very good.
They are both delicious, and this is making me very hungry. So maybe we should listen to our dialogue again.
Hi, welcome to Happy Buddha. Can I get you anything to drink?
Coke for me, please.
I'll have a Sprite.
Okay, I'll go get that for you. Are there any questions with the menu?
Do you use MSG?
No, ma'am. We are MSG free.
Oh, man. I haven't had Chinese food in so long, I want everything. This place has the best sesame chicken.
Yeah, I've been craving Chinese for such a long time. I used to get takeout all the time. It's definitely been a while. Let's start off with some crab rangoon.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. I think I'm going to get the sesame chicken with fried rice, a spring roll, and egg drop soup.
It's so tempting to order everything on the menu. It all looks so appetizing. I think I'll get General Tso's chicken, hot and sour soup, fried wontons, and white rice.
Aren't you supposed to be on a diet? You should at least get brown rice.
I don't think so. I hate brown rice. And I'm so sick of eating healthy all the time. I've been eating so much salad, I swear I've forgotten what meat tastes like. There's no better remedy than some nice, greasy, calorie-laden Chinese food. I might even get an order of broccoli beef.
Oh, gosh, I'm so hungry. Let's call the waitress over.
All right, we're back. So, as we mentioned, these dishes are very much, they have a certain American influence to them. And they're not really spicy. I think that's the main difference as well, that American Chinese food doesn't really have the intense garlic flavor, nor is it spicy like usual Chinese food.
That's right. So I think that part of that is like I said, due to the fact that a lot of the Chinese Americans who first came over came from Hong Kong. And so Hong Kong food is not as famous for its spiciness. It's not like Sichuan food. You will see a lot of sweet sauces. Like this General Tso's chicken is like a very, very sweet sauce.
Right.
You also see a lot of soy sauce in American Chinese cooking. And so these are flavors that are very, very strong, and they're not the same as the Chinese peppers and these spicy foods you get in China.
That's right. And actually, there's one more dish that we didn't mention in the dialogue, actually, but is very famous all around the United States. It's called chop suey.
Chop suey, and many people have argued about where the name comes from.
Yeah, yes.
But chop suey is just basically like everything chopped up and fried together, right?
It's like stir-fried vegetables and meat.
Yeah.
And all put together in just a bowl.
Yeah, well, my favorite thing about the American Chinese food that we get is that we get it in these little boxes. They're very cute, and you take them home and you open them up, and every food has a box. And then at the end, you also get a fortune cookie, which is a very small cookie, and inside there's a piece of paper. So don't eat the paper. And the paper has a fortune for you. It says, you will be very lucky today, or your favorite number is 17.
Right.
And they're very cute.
Actually, you can see these boxes that Catherine mentions on our lesson page. It's the lesson photo. And it's, as you said, very, very common. Each dish is put in this little box. So if you ever get Chinese food, you'll see people carrying these little boxes around because they're very convenient and easy to carry. But the fortune cookie thing is also very common. I was actually very surprised when I went to China and there were no fortune cookies.
It's weird, isn't it? I think it's funny because we expect these things to be very Chinese, but in fact, when you come to mainland China, they don't have fortune cookies. So I think it's a nice surprise, but also kind of confusing.
That's right. Well, a very interesting topic, and in the future, we're going to continue doing different lessons about different cuisines. We have Italian food coming up sometime soon. Ooh. So that's going to be very good as well. And of course, if you have any lesson suggestions, or maybe you want to suggest the cuisine from your country, you can visit our website, englishpod.com, and leave your comments there.
We hope to see you guys there, and until next time.
Bye
everyone.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. A very strong desire for something.
Craving.
Attractive.
Tempting.
A medicine or treatment.
Remedy.
Food that is sold by a store to be eaten elsewhere.
Takeout.
Delicious.
Appetizing.
Let's try that faster. Delicious.
Appetizing.
Food that is sold by a store to be eaten elsewhere.
Takeout.
A very strong desire for something.
Craving.
A medicine or treatment.
Remedy.
Attractive.
Tempting.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Tempting. The apple is so big and red, it's so tempting to take a bite. Tempting. The food looks so good, it's tempting to eat it all. Tempting. He's such a jerk. It's so tempting to just walk up and slap him. Craving. I've been craving Mexican food ever since I came to China. Craving. He quit smoking 2 days ago, so he's been craving a cigarette. Craving. I'm craving something sweet right now. Takeout. Whenever I'm too tired, I get takeout and watch a movie at home. Takeout. If you don't have time to sit in the restaurant, you can get takeout. Takeout. Even though takeout is really convenient, it's better if you eat the food fresh. Remedy. Ice cream is a great remedy for a broken heart. But a new fling is even better. Remedy. A Bloody Mary is the best remedy for a hangover. Remedy. An ice pack would be the best remedy for your black eye. Appetizing. Everything on the menu looks so appetizing. Appetizing. I searched the menu, but couldn't find anything that looked remotely appetizing. Appetizing. My grandma's pies are so appetizing you won't be able to resist.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and we have a delicious Italian food lesson for you today.
That's right. We are at an Italian restaurant, and we are ordering food. So this is going to be very helpful next time you are at an Italian restaurant with your friends and you're ordering up some dishes.
Let's take a listen to our dialogue, and we'll be back in a moment to talk about what's going on.
Good evening, ladies. My name is Josh, and I'll be your server tonight. May I take your order?
Do you have any recommendations?
Well, I personally like the chicken penne with cream mushroom sauce, but the prawn fettuccine is also very nice.
I'd like to have the grilled chicken. But can I have spaghetti instead of penne?
Of course, ma'am. And for you?
I'll have the horse tripe.
All right, we're back, and now let's take a look at all those delicious Italian dishes on Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
So first of all, we have two different kinds of sauce, really. The first is cream mushroom. So what's a cream sauce, Marco?
A cream mushroom sauce. So basically, this is cream from like milk, and you have mushrooms in it, and it's, I don't know, I think everyone has seen it. It's a very thick white sauce. It has little slices of mushrooms in it. It's kind of sweet.
That's right. And so oftentimes you see there's cream sauces, which are white, and tomato sauces, which are red.
Right.
And this here is a cream sauce, so it's white, and it's got chunks of mushroom in it. Very tasty.
And the waiter also offered prawn with the pasta. So what is a prawn?
Prawn fettuccine. So prawn is like a big, it's like a word for shrimp. I always think of jumbo prawns, which are these big shrimps.
Big shrimps. So they're basically the same thing. Shrimp and prawn are basically the same.
That's right. And they're a seafood that when they get cooked, they curl. And so they look like a circle, but they're pinkish or red.
That's right.
And they're very tasty.
Okay, so now let's take a look at the different types of pasta. So we have 3 different types of pasta that the waiter suggested. So the first one is...
Okay, we're going to say all 3 in the American way, but I'm going to tell you the Italian way is quite different. So I'll say that afterwards. The first is penne.
Okay, so this is a type of pasta. What does it look like?
It is like a small tube, so maybe 3 centimeters long, and it is round, and it has a hole in the middle. And so it's a kind of pasta.
And what about the fettuccine?
So fettuccine is a long noodle, but it's flat. It's not round, it's flat. Fettuccine.
So it kind of looks like a shoelace.
Yeah, it's long and flat.
Okay. And then we have spaghetti, which I think many people know, and this is probably the most popular one.
That's right. Spaghetti is very long, just like fettuccine, but it's very, very thin and round.
So it kind of looks like maybe a pencil, a very long pencil.
But very thin, more like hair, actually.
Okay, hair, okay.
Yeah, and there are thin kinds, so they have a special name, but this is just a normal pasta that you will see everywhere. It's very long, and you can twirl it. You can spin it around your fork.
Around your fork. Okay, so that's what we have. We have penne, fettuccine, and spaghetti. Now, the other woman ended up ordering horse tripe. Now, this is also another Italian dish. What is this exactly?
Well, horse is the animal, so this is tripe that comes from a horse. But tripe is a certain part of the animal that it's a food name actually. So when we eat the stomach lining, the part of the stomach that goes around the stomach, it's kind of squishy, soft. That is called tripe. And you can have tripe from many different animals, like cows or pigs. But in this case, it's horse tripe. So it's basically that thick piece of like spongy material around the animal's stomach.
Okay.
And when you cook it, it looks very funny.
So this is actually a famous Italian dish as well, right?
I think so. I think they eat it in the South more, but you can definitely get tripe in a lot of different places in Italy.
Okay, very good. So there you have it. A lot of different dishes, Italian dishes. We've taken a look at a couple of pasta dishes. Why don't we take a break, listen to the dialogue again, and we'll be back with Fluency Builder.
Good evening, ladies. My name is Josh, and I'll be your server tonight. May I take your order?
Do you have any recommendations?
Well, I personally like the chicken penne with cream mushroom sauce, but the prawn fettuccine is also very nice.
I'd like to have the grilled chicken, but can I have spaghetti instead of penne?
Of course, ma'am. And for you?
I'll have the horse tripe.
All right, we're back. So now we're going to give you 3 key phrases on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
So the phrases we have selected for you today are phrases that you are sure to hear anytime you go to a restaurant in America or any other English-speaking country. But basically, you have a waiter who comes to you if you sit down, and this is what they'll say. The first thing they'll say is, "I'll be your server."
I'll be your server tonight. So he introduces himself. He says, "Good evening, ladies. My name is Josh, and I'll be your server tonight." So when he's saying, "I'll be your server," it's another way of saying, "I'll be your waiter."
Your waiter, that's right. But server can be a man or a woman. And a waiter can only be a man. If it's a woman, it's a waitress.
Okay, so waitress for a woman, waiter for a guy, but if we use server, it's for men and women.
Yes, I'll be your server. And I just like to remind you that this is more common in America because in America, waiters and waitresses or servers, they have to earn tips, and so they're very nice.
Okay, so this is why they introduce themselves, they are very nice to you, and then they ask, "May I take your order?"
May I take your order? So the verb to take here doesn't mean to take it from you. It means to ask you, and then they'll write it down. Okay. So the server will ask you what you want to order, and then we'll write it down. And the order is what you have decided to eat. So that's the food that you order.
Now, this next phrase is very, very handy, especially if you're in a country that maybe you don't know the dishes well, or if you're in a restaurant that you want to see what they recommend. You can just say, "Do you have any recommendations?"
Do you have any recommendations? Okay, so this is a way to ask the server what's good.
So what he thinks is good, or what the restaurant serves very well.
Okay, so you could say, "I've never been to this restaurant before. Do you have any recommendations?" Or maybe even, Marco, we're having dinner, and I know that you really like Italian food, and I don't know much about Italian food, so I can ask you, do you have any recommendations?
Okay, so this is a way of asking what is good here. What is delicious in this restaurant?
What's good to eat?
Okay, all right. So 3 phrases there for you. Why don't we take another short break and let's listen to the dialogue for the last time.
Good evening, ladies. My name is Josh, and I'll be your server tonight. May I take your order?
Do you have any recommendations?
Well, I personally like the chicken penne with cream mushroom sauce, but the prawn fettuccine is also very nice.
I'd like to have the grilled chicken, But can I have spaghetti instead of penne?
Of course, ma'am. And for you?
I'll have the horse tripe.
All right, so talking about pasta. Now, one thing, before you mentioned that all these different types of pasta, they're basically the same thing. They're just different shapes, right? That's how you distinguish them.
Well, yeah, they're basically made from the same ingredients. And so you have, most of them are kind of a yellow color, but sometimes you have pastas that are a dark, like a brown or a green. That depends on what kind of things you put into the dough.
Right.
But generally, they're the same ingredients, but they are different shapes. Like they have curly ones, and they have long ones and short ones.
All right, so how do you pronounce, we said penne in English, in American English, but in proper Italian it would be?
Penne.
Penne. So you double pronounce the consonant.
Yes.
What about fettuccine?
Fettuccine.
Oh, it's fettuccine.
Fettuccine. In American, we say fettuccine.
Fettuccine,
Like
yeah.
fettuccine Alfredo is a very common American Italian dish, but
Right.
in Italian it'd be fettuccine, so you might hear it differently.
And what about spaghetti?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Oh, you pronounce the double T as well.
That's right.
Okay, so you said that obviously there are a lot of other types of pasta. What about this pasta that's, I think it's made of spinach. It's green.
Yeah, that's just a spinach pasta, basically.
Oh, okay. You
And so
just
they
call it
put
like
the
that.
spinach in the dough. But you can also find very many shapes, like
Right.
the angel hair pasta is
That's
very
very
popular.
thin.
It's very thin. That's the one I was saying. Is it's almost like hair. It's so thin. It's long as well.
What about those little curly tubes?
You
They look like penne, but they're kind of curved. They look like little N's or U's.
Oh, you have macaroni.
Macaroni.
Elbow macaroni, we call them in America, and they look like your elbow on your arm, so we call them elbow macaroni.
What about the ones that are, they have like a spiral? They kind of look like springs.
Those are called fusilli.
Fusilli. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and you also have one that's very special. This is my favorite pasta, by the way. It's called orecchiette.
Oh, what is this?
Orecchiette, and they look like your ear, and that's what that means in Italian. It means your little ear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so ear pastas.
Wow. And what about ravioli? This is probably one of the most famous dishes. Ravioli. What is this?
A ravioli is like a square. It's like a square pasta, but it's more like a pocket or a pillow. And inside you have ingredients like meat or cheese usually is very popular.
Right.
So you have this cheese inside this little packet.
This little, yeah.
This little dough. It's very soft and very warm. And then on top, sometimes people like to put butter or tomato sauce.
Okay.
It's really delicious.
So that's the main difference. Like, this was obviously all the pastas that we mentioned. They're just, they don't have anything inside them.
No, they're just dough. But a ravioli is a special kind of pasta that's it's almost like a dumpling in a way. It's
Right.
It's stuffed. There's
has something
things inside.
All right. Really interesting. I think Italian cuisine is among one of the most famous foods in the world. And, well, you should let us know what is your favorite Italian dish.
Please let us know. Our website is englishpod.com. And when you're there, you could find out what our favorite dishes are.
All right. We'll see you guys there.
Bye.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
A waiter or waitress. Server. A suggestion or proposal. Recommendation. A large shrimp. Prawn. Pasta in the shape of long narrow strips. Fettuccine. Pasta dish originally from Italy. Spaghetti. A type of Italian pasta. Penne. The stomach of a horse used as food. Horse tripe.
Let's try that faster.
Pasta dish originally from Italy. Spaghetti. Pasta in the shape of long narrow strips. Fettuccine. A waiter or waitress. Server. The stomach of a horse used as food. Horse tripe. A large shrimp. Prawn. A type of Italian pasta. Penne. A suggestion or proposal. Recommendation.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Good morning, sir. May I take your order? I placed my order 30 minutes ago. I want an order of fries. Recommendation. Do you have any recommendations for dinner? Recommendation. I'm sorry, I don't have any recommendations. Recommendation. I'd like to hear your recommendations. Personally, I like chicken more than beef. Personally, I don't like this color. Personally, I don't think it's a good idea. I'd like to have some tea instead of coffee. Can I come at 8 instead of 9? Instead of going to work, I stayed home.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and if you've been listening to our recent lessons, you know that we've been talking a lot about food.
That's right. And today we have another lesson all about food from a different country. Last time we took a look at Mexican food, Chinese food. Now we are talking about Indian food.
Okay, Indian food is very famous for being spicy, but not all of it is spicy. Let's take a listen to today's dialogue and find out just what kinds of food you will find at an Indian restaurant.
So, where is this mystery restaurant that we're going to?
It's an Indian restaurant. I know you have never had Indian food, so I thought you might want to try it.
That sounds great! I am craving some type of beef dish.
Well, Indian cuisine actually doesn't serve beef. You see, cows are a sacred animal, a very important element in the Hindu religion, so beef is not eaten.
I see. So what are we having? Chicken?
There are many amazing dishes to choose from. We can have some chicken tikka masala, which is an amazing curry. It's a bit spicy, but I think you can handle it.
Sounds good. I've always heard that Indian spices give a rich flavor to food.
Yeah. Also, we can have some naan bread, which is baked in a tandoori oven. Since you don't use any utensils to eat, you can use this bread to scoop up the curry or rice.
What about veggies?
Oh, they have a good variety of vegetable-based dishes like palak paneer, vegetable samosas, or dal.
It all sounds so exquisite. I can't wait.
All right, we're back. So now let's take a look at a couple of words and phrases here on language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
So in this first language takeaway today, we have words that are about the kinds of food we're eating today. So the first one, the character said, I am craving some type of beef. So to crave something.
Okay, so that is a verb, to crave, and that means that you have a desire. You really want to eat something, to have a particular thing.
That's right, but it's particular. So it's something specific. For example, pregnant women are famous for craving strange foods like
That's
pickles.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So if you say, I'm craving some ice cream, you specifically want ice cream or maybe vanilla ice cream.
Exactly. And this person wants beef, but unfortunately there's no beef at Indian restaurants because cows are what?
Cows are a sacred animal, so they are sacred in India.
Sacred means special or somehow important in a religious way. For example, you could say this is a very sacred place, so please don't use cameras or phones and take your shoes off.
That's right. So the word sacred refers to something that is religious and very important for that religion. Specifically in this occasion, we're talking about the Hindu religion.
Okay, so the Hindu religion or Hinduism is a religion that's widely practiced in the world and maybe most commonly found in India. So you'll see a lot of Hindu temples in India, and people don't eat beef, like we said, because cows are sacred in the Hindu religion.
That's right. Okay, so now in India, or for Indian food, it's common to not use any type of utensil to eat.
Okay, so you might be wondering, what is a utensil? I know forks, I know spoons. Well, utensil is the word that describes all forks, spoons, and knives, things that you eat with. Okay, so utensils are tools for eating, and it's a very general category.
Right, exactly. So utensils are spoons, forks, knives, everything.
Chopsticks are utensils even.
Okay. Very good. And now, since we don't use any utensils, you usually eat with your hand and you scoop up the food, the rice or the curry.
Okay, to scoop up, this is a verb, and usually you use your hands to scoop something. So in this case, I can use a piece of bread to scoop up or to pick up some food.
That's right. So the verb to scoop up, it usually means that you somehow make a little bowl or little figure with your hand so that the liquid or the food will fit inside, kind of like a little scoop.
Or a little cup, that's right. So
Exactly.
to scoop up, scoop something up.
All right, so now let's go back, let's review this dialogue, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at the specific Indian dishes found in this dialogue.
So, where is this mystery restaurant that we're going to?
It's an Indian restaurant. I know you have never had Indian food, so I thought you might want to try it.
That sounds great! I am craving some type of beef dish.
Well, Indian cuisine actually doesn't serve beef. You see, cows are a sacred animal, a very important element in the Hindu religion, so beef is not eaten.
I see. So what are we having? Chicken?
There are many amazing dishes to choose from. We can have some chicken tikka masala, which is an amazing curry. It's a bit spicy, but I think you can handle it.
Sounds good. I've always heard that Indian spices give a rich flavor to food.
Yeah. Also, we can have some naan bread, which is baked in a tandoori oven. Since you don't use any utensils to eat, you can use this bread to scoop up the curry or rice.
What about veggies?
Oh, they have a good variety of vegetable-based dishes like palak paneer, vegetable samosas, or dal.
It all sounds so exquisite. I can't wait.
All right, we're back, so now let's take a look at those dishes on Language Takeaway Part 2.
Oh, Marco, these lessons are making me so hungry. We've been doing them for a couple weeks now. And this one is no exception. We talked a little bit today about chicken dishes and vegetable dishes, but a very general kind of dish in Indian food is a curry.
That's right, a curry. Now, this is a noun, and it's a dish that has a variety of spices in it.
That's right. So there are many different flavors, not just one flavor. You can have chicken curries and vegetable curries and mutton or lamb curries. But the thing that you need to remember in Indian food is that there's usually different colors of curry. Red, yellow, or green curries.
That's right. Exactly. So the dishes are usually called curries, and an example of a curry, we have a chicken tikka masala curry.
Okay, so we know that there's chicken in it, and tikka means that it's grilled chicken, and masala is the name of the spice or the curry, the spice that's in that curry.
Exactly. So a curry is kind of like a thick sauce with pieces of chicken in it. In this case, for the chicken tikka masala, it's a little bit spicy and it's color red.
All right, so we've got the chicken tikka masala. Or masala, and usually you eat this with rice or bread. But in India, there are many different kinds of bread, but the special bread we heard today was called naan bread.
Right, naan bread. And it's just basically a type of bread. Now, it's not like the bread that you usually have at home. It's a flat bread, so it kind of looks like a pancake almost.
It does. It's not fluffy. It's flat. And the way they cook it is they use this special oven and they cook it inside the oven. Now the question is, what is that oven called, Marco?
That's right. The oven that we heard is a tandoori oven.
Okay, so tandoori is just the name of this oven. It's also a style of cooking in India. And it's actually one of my favorite kinds of Indian food because you have these many different kinds of grilled meats. You can have tandoori chicken, tandoori mutton, things like that.
Exactly. So a tandoori oven is a type of oven usually made from clay. That's why it's called tandoori. Now, towards the end, we also have some vegetarian options because as we heard in India, they don't eat beef. And many people are also vegetarians. They don't eat any type of meat at all. So the first vegetable-based dish that we heard is a palak paneer.
That's interesting, actually, because paneer is curd or like a cheese type of cheese type of thing. So it's usually white and comes in rectangles.
Yeah.
And paneer, you can have many different flavors of it, but paneer generally is a kind of a cheese, like a cottage cheese.
That's right. And palak is actually spinach. So it's a dish that it kind of looks like a thick sauce, green sauce, which is made out of spinach, and within it has little pieces of this type of cheese. So
I love this dish.
It's very, very delicious. We also have vegetable samosas. Now, a samosa, what's that?
Now, this is a great dish. This is often used as an appetizer or as a snack. You see these on carts or on the street in India. Now, samosas are like pyramids or triangles, and inside they have vegetables. Okay? So you can have potatoes and peas or lentils. No, not lentils. You can have potatoes and peas, and they're a little bit crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside. And they're very tasty.
I guess the equivalent would be it's something like an egg roll, more or less.
Like a dumpling.
Or like a dumpling, because it is deep fried.
That's right.
Deep fried. And we also have dal. So this is actually a type of lentil, as you mentioned.
That's right. So dal is a lentil dish, and it can be flavored in different ways. But basically, lentils are these very, 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 very small round things. They're very good for your health. And dal is a kind of a soupy lentil dish.
That's right. So lentil is the category of this type of I don't know if it's not a grain.
It's a legume.
It's a legume, exactly. So it may sound a little bit weird, but we'll post some pictures of different types of lentils because it's like saying potatoes. There are many different types of potatoes, sweet potato and all this. And the same thing goes with lentils. So we'll post some pictures so you can see what it looks like. But now why don't we go back? Let's listen to the dialogue again. Let's review everything and we'll be right back.
So, where's this mystery restaurant that we're going to?
It's an Indian restaurant. I know you have never had Indian food, so I thought you might want to try it.
That sounds great! I am craving some type of beef dish.
Well, Indian cuisine actually doesn't serve beef. You see, cows are a sacred animal, a very important element in the Hindu religion, so beef is not eaten.
I see. So what are we having? Chicken?
There are many amazing dishes to choose from. We can have some chicken tikka masala, which is an amazing curry. It's a bit spicy, but I think you can handle it.
Sounds good. I've always heard that Indian spices give a rich flavor to food.
Yeah. Also, we can have some naan bread, which is baked in a tandoori oven. Since you don't use any utensils to eat, you can use this bread to scoop up the curry or rice.
What about veggies?
Oh, they have a good variety of vegetable-based dishes like palak paneer, vegetable samosas, or dal.
It all sounds so exquisite. I can't wait.
All right, we're back. So Indian food has a reputation of being spicy, but it's very, very delicious.
That's right. And what people always tell me, at least my Indian friends always tell me, is that saying Indian food is like saying Chinese food. We have some general idea, but every different part of India has its own special foods.
That's right.
And so what we get in America at Indian restaurants might not be the same as what we get at Indian restaurants in India. So I just want to say that. But generally, you can find these dishes at any Indian restaurant in America.
That's right. Actually, if next time you're in an Indian restaurant, or if you ever go, ask them from what region or what area of India the food is from, because it may be northern Indian cuisine, and obviously that is going to be a little bit different than maybe the southern.
I think the southern is supposed to be spicy.
Exactly. And it's just like in every country, even in our own home countries, maybe the food from the coast or from the north will be different from the south or the inlands.
And I just want to make one more comment. One of my favorite things to do that many Indian restaurants offer in America is the lunch buffet. So a buffet is basically a self-serve of food. So the restaurant will put out many different dishes, and you can take as much as you want of each, but you pay one price. All right, so it's $11.99 or something.
That's
$12.99.
very, very good.
And so I often do this when I'm home in the States, and I just, I get to pick my favorite dishes, and I eat as much as I want.
And actually, I think one other thing that's worth mentioning, we didn't mention in the dialogue, but Indian sweets and the tea is very, very good. The milk tea that they drink in India is delicious, and the sweets are very, very good.
That's right. They're famous for being very good and not very healthy for you.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. They're very sweet.
If you're in an Indian restaurant, take note. Look for these different things, and let us know. Do you like to eat Indian food? If so, what's your favorite dish?
All right. So we'll see you guys at our website, englishpod.com, and until next time.
Bye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Something that is unknown or lacking in information. Mystery. A person who adheres to the religion of Hinduism. Hindu. A style or quality of cooking. Cuisine. A stuffed pastry, triangular in shape. Samosa. A meal containing lentils. Dal. Possessing qualities of unusual delicacy and fine craftsmanship. Exquisite. Chicken marinated in yogurt and spices, served in tomato sauce. Chicken tikka masala. Holy. Sacred. Want something very much. Craving.
Let's try that faster.
Holy. Sacred. A meal containing lentils. Dal. A person who adheres to the religion of Hinduism. Hindu. A stuffed pastry, triangular in shape. Samosa. A style or quality of cooking. Cuisine. Chicken marinated in yogurt and spices, served in tomato sauce. Chicken tikka masala. Possessing qualities of unusual delicacy and fine craftsmanship. Exquisite. Want something very much. Craving. Something that is unknown or lacking in information. Mystery.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Cuisine. I'm a big fan of Italian cuisine. Always fills me up. Cuisine. My friend is coming over tonight to cook his regional cuisine for me. Cuisine. Indian cuisine is too spicy for my liking. I prefer Chinese. Craving. I'm craving for some chocolate right now. Craving. I've got such a craving for blueberry pancakes. Craving. My friend is always craving for cigarettes. He should quit. Exquisite. The new art at the museum was truly exquisite. Exquisite. Her voice is exquisite when she sings. Exquisite. His performance was an exquisite example of how to cook. Sacred. Cows are sacred in India. That's why they do not eat beef. Sacred. He always takes time off to visit the sacred temple. Sacred. Many religions around the world have sacred books or items, such as the Bible. Mystery. It was a mystery as to who stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Mystery. No one knows how to solve this mystery. Mystery. She didn't know where her boyfriend was taking her. It was a big mystery.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and we've been traveling around the world eating different foods from different countries, and today we're in Thailand.
That's right. Thai food is one of the most popular types of food around the world, especially because of that specific Asian taste it has. And so we're going to jump right into this dialogue today and see what we have prepared for you today.
What did you cook?
Well, as you know, I was in Thailand last month and I took a cooking class. So I prepared some of my favorite dishes.
Great idea, as long as I don't get food poisoning. So what is on the menu tonight?
Okay, for starters, we have tom yum soup. It's a bit spicy, but really good.
This is delicious. The ginger and lemongrass really give it a nice taste.
Now, this next dish is one of the most famous. Foreigners call it papaya salad, but the proper name is tom sam. It is a spicy salad made from a mix of fresh vegetables, including shredded, unripened papaya and tomato.
This is delicious. The combination of sour and spicy is really interesting. I could have this every day.
Okay, now for the last and best dish, in my opinion. This is called pad thai. It's stir-fried noodles with eggs, fish sauce, tamarind juice, red chili pepper, plus bean sprouts, shrimp, and tofu, garnished with crushed peanuts and coriander. It's practically Thailand's national dish.
Wow, this is great. I never knew Thai food was so creative and delicious.
Want some more?
I'm stuffed.
All right, so we've got a number of different dishes we'd like to talk about, as well as phrases. So let's look at some of those dishes and important keywords in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, so the first word we have on language takeaway today is food poisoning. So we don't want to get food poisoning when having this any meal.
Any meal. No, that's right. Food poisoning is a bad thing. Now, this is something that happens when you eat bad food or dirty food. Basically, you get very, very sick and you feel like you have to vomit. You have to throw up.
That's right. So your stomach hurts. You feel like you have to throw up. You may be going to the bathroom very often. That means usually you have food poisoning.
All right. And so people often associate food poisoning with food that you eat on the street, maybe dirtier food. But this is something you should be very careful of when you're traveling, not to Thailand alone, but maybe to any other country. You can get it in America. You can get it in Mexico. So just something to be careful of.
That's right. So apart from that, we're going to jump into our first dish for today. We're having a soup called tom yum soup.
Tom yum soup. Now, this is one of my favorite soups. It's quite spicy, isn't it, Marco?
Very spicy, but very, very good as well. It has a kind of citric taste, like lemon.
It does, and it's very yellow or orange colored. And it's a very, very common dish on Thai restaurant menus. And there's some key ingredients in this soup that I think are important to discuss. They're often found in Thai food and other kinds of Asian food. The first one is ginger.
Ginger, that's right. This is a root. It kind of looks like a potato almost.
It does. It's usually white and it has little arms, you know. It kind of, it's not a round object. It's got pointy little arms.
That's right. And ginger is, the characteristic taste of ginger is kind of strong and bitter.
It is quite strong. You'll find it in Japanese food. Oftentimes you get pickled ginger to eat. It's like a pink food you get with sushi. Other times in like Chinese cooking, it's something that's chopped up with garlic and cooked in oil. So ginger is a very important one.
That's right. So in this soup, we have ginger and we also have lemongrass. So this is very interesting because it's not very easily found around the world.
That's right. This is very common in Southeast Asian cooking, and you might have a hard time finding it in places like America where it's not really a part of the cuisine. But lemongrass is very distinct. It has a very strong flavor. And it's actually quite long. It's green and long. It looks a bit like celery, but it's harder.
That's right. That's right. And the taste that it gives it is a little bit citric, kind of like a lemon almost.
That's right. But you're going to find this in soups like tom yum or other things. So lemongrass is another one.
And then moving on to our next dish, which is one of the most, I think, the most popular dishes of all Thailand, is the famous pad Thai.
Pad Thai. Now, this is absolutely my favorite Thai dish, and I know that's very cliche. It's something that everyone says, but it's true. You know, this is a great dish you can buy on the street. You can buy it in a restaurant. It's basically a noodle dish, right?
That's right. It's a stir-fried noodles with eggs and peanuts are the most, like the key ingredients in there.
That's right. But you might also get a little bit of hot red pepper, some sugar, some lime, and the noodles are flat. They're not round.
That's right. And actually, one of the key ingredients also that gives it this very distinct taste is tamarind juice.
All right, tamarind juice. This is, again, another one of those flavors from Southeast Asia that you might not find in many other places, certainly not America. Now, tamarind, they're funny-looking things. They look like peas, but they're dark brown.
That's right. So tamarind juice gives it this kind of sweet flavor. So this is the interesting thing about pad Thai, is that you have these sweet flavors from the tamarind juice, from even the fish sauce, combined with chili. So it's kind of like a spicy, very sweet taste.
And then you have citrus. You have some lime maybe and some sugar. So it's a lot of different tastes and flavors, but it's a really magical combination.
That's right. So that's all we have for language takeaway. Why don't we take another listen to our dialogue?
What did you cook?
Well, as you know, I was in Thailand last month and I took a cooking class. So I prepared some of my favorite dishes.
Great idea, as long as I don't get food poisoning. So what is on the menu tonight?
Okay, for starters, we have tom yum soup. It's a bit spicy, but really good.
This is delicious. The ginger and lemongrass really give it a nice taste.
Now, this next dish is one of the most famous. Foreigners call it papaya salad, but the proper name is tom sam. It is a spicy salad made from a mix of fresh vegetables, including shredded, unripened papaya and tomato.
This is delicious. The combination of sour and spicy is really interesting. I could have this every day.
Okay, now for the last and best dish, in my opinion. This is called pad Thai. It's stir-fried noodles with eggs, fish sauce, tamarind juice, red chili pepper, plus bean sprouts, shrimp, and tofu, garnished with crushed peanuts and coriander. It's practically Thailand's national dish.
Wow, this is great. I never knew Thai food was so creative and delicious.
Want some more?
I'm stuffed.
All right, we're back. So now let's take a look at 4 key phrases on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
So first up, we have the phrase on the menu. What's on the menu tonight?
That's right. That person asks, well, so what's on the menu? And by saying this, we're saying, well, what are we having for dinner?
What are we going to eat? That's right. So you might want to think, okay, menu, I'm going to look at the menu, but you could even say this at home where there is no menu. This is a spoken language way of saying, what are we eating tonight?
Right. That's right. What's for dinner? What are we eating? What's on the menu? Even though, as you said, there's no menu.
That's right. And after that, we have another phrase that's really important. We say, for starters, we're going to have this or that. So for starters.
That's right. We said for starters, we are having a soup, a tom yum soup. So a starter dish is something that you have to begin the meal, a small dish maybe.
That's right. Starter. So a starter is a noun, it's a thing, and it's something you eat at the beginning. Usually it's not very heavy. Not a steak would never be a starter, right?
Right.
All right, so here we have tom yum soup, which is our starter, and after that we have the national dish. Now this is a great phrase.
Right, we had the pad thai, which is considered to be the national dish, and so usually every country has their national dish, something that's unique or that a country is famous for. Like, for example, China would be famous for
Kung Pao chicken.
Kung Pao chicken, yeah.
In America, you might even say that apple pie is the most, important national dish. But do you guys have one in Ecuador? What's your national dish?
I would say I have no idea which would be. It's very not very well known. Maybe ceviche is kind of shared between Peru and Ecuador. Like maybe in Argentina, you would say steak. Is a national dish.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or in Mexico, like tacos or enchiladas, stuff like that.
Or in Italy, spaghetti bolognese.
That's right.
All right, so we have a number of different countries, and each country maybe has 1 or 2 national dishes. These are very special dishes that are important for that country.
That's right. So we have our national dishes, and after we finish dinner, we ate so much that we say, I'm stuffed.
I'm stuffed. Now, this is a common phrase that you will hear at the end of a meal when you've eaten and eaten and eaten, and it just means I'm full.
I'm full. I can't eat anymore.
Yeah, I'm stuffed. So stuffed means that I'm full of things.
Now, it's a very informal way of saying I'm full, right? Because if somebody says, would you like some more soup? You say, no, thank you, I'm full.
Right, but if you're with friends, you could say, oh, I just had so much pizza, I'm stuffed.
That's right. So it's a little bit more informal, but a lot more native-like.
That's right.
All right, so let's take a listen to our dialogue one last time.
What did you cook?
Well, as you know, I was in Thailand last month and I took a cooking class. So I prepared some of my favorite dishes.
Great idea, as long as I don't get food poisoning. So what is on the menu tonight?
Okay, for starters, we have tom yum soup. It's a bit spicy, but really good.
This is delicious. The ginger and lemongrass really give it a nice taste.
Now, this next dish is one of the most famous. Foreigners call it papaya salad, but the proper name is tom sam. It is a spicy salad made from a mix of fresh vegetables, including shredded, unripened papaya and tomato.
This is delicious. The combination of sour and spicy is really interesting. I could have this every day.
Okay, now for the last and best dish, in my opinion. This is called pad thai. It's stir-fried noodles with eggs, fish sauce, tamarind juice, red chili pepper, plus bean sprouts, shrimp, and tofu, garnished with crushed peanuts and coriander. It's practically Thailand's national dish.
Wow, this is great. I never knew Thai food was so creative and delicious.
Want some more?
I'm stuffed.
All right, so speaking of Thai food, it's very famous around the world, but it's very spicy.
It can be very spicy, and what always surprises me about Thai food is that the salads might be the spiciest things on the menu.
Yeah.
People like to eat many different salads. You have like a Chiang Mai chicken salad or you have a papaya salad. But these are really, really spicy.
Yeah, that's right. We saw in our dialogue that we're eating papaya salad, and it's very interesting because it has this fruit, like a papaya, and it has some other vegetables as well, but the salad is very, very spicy itself.
That's right. And you would never think of a fruit salad as being something that's spicy in America. You'd think of it as being pretty tame, pretty boring.
But that's the kind of what gives it a certain attraction to it, right?
Absolutely. And I don't know if you're a big fan of Thai food. I certainly am. And I really like that about Thai food, that you can have these really spicy dishes, but there's just so much flavor. There's so many things happening. Lemongrass, sugar, lime, fish sauce.
Yeah, it's very, very good. And speaking of national dishes, this is actually a very interesting question because, as we mentioned, a couple of countries have national dishes like Italy and different places, but what about in your country? Do you have a national dish, or what would you consider to be your national dish?
That's right. So we'd love to hear from you guys. What's your national dish? Tell us all about it, what it tastes like, and even if there's some history, tell us about that too. Our website is englishpod.com.
All right, we'll see you guys there.
Bye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
The result of mixing two or more things together. Combination. Filled with food, no longer hungry. Stuff. Having the ability to think of new ideas. Creative. A person not native to or naturalized in the country or jurisdiction under consideration. Foreigner. Tasty. Delicious. Food. Dish.
Let's try that faster.
The result of mixing two or more things together. Combination. Having the ability to think of new ideas. Creative. Filled with food, no longer hungry. Stuff. Tasty. Delicious. A person not native to or naturalized in the country or jurisdiction under consideration. Foreigner. Food. Dish.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Stuff. I ate so much last night. I'm so stuffed. Stuff. Don't stuff yourself with too much candy. We still have dinner left. Stuff. My friend stuffed himself with cake. Now he can't move. Creative. Your cooking is so creative. I wish I was good as you. Creative. This movie is very creative. The director is very smart. Creative. I like people who are creative, who think outside the box. Combination. This is a great combination. The flavors really work well together. Combination. Yuck, I don't like the combination of salt and pepper. Combination. I wonder if the coach has thought of any new combinations for the match. Foreigner. I don't like foreigners. They are always disrespectful to local culture. Foreigner. It is important as a foreigner living overseas to at least attempt to learn the local language. Foreigner. We should make foreigners feel welcome and safe in our home country. Delicious. This lunch was delicious. Thank you very much. Delicious. I love eating at this Italian restaurant. They always make delicious pasta. Delicious. My favorite food is mango. It's so delicious.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we're talking a little bit about food and about your health.
That's right. Today we're going to take a look at our favorite, maybe, kind of food. We're taking a look at the fast food, all these yummy but not very healthy types of food.
Yeah, we are. So let's listen to our dialogue, and when we come back, we'll be talking about what some of these foods are and what some of the phrases you've heard mean.
I'm hungry. Let's order up something to eat.
Okay, maybe we can order a soup and a salad from the restaurant down the street.
I was thinking of getting a hamburger, fries, and a chocolate sundae.
You eat too much junk food. That sort of stuff clogs up your arteries and is very high in cholesterol.
Well, I never seem to gain weight, so I don't mind.
It's not only about getting fat or not, it's about being healthy. You could really have some health problems later on.
How about pizza or maybe some fried chicken? Better yet, let's order some hot dogs.
You're a lost cause. All right, we're back. So now let's take a look at language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
So first up on language takeaway is a very unhealthy food. It's called a chocolate sundae.
That's right. We wanted to order hamburger, french fries, and a chocolate sundae. So chocolate, we know that this is the flavor that comes from cocoa. But what is a sundae?
Well, basically, a sundae is a kind of ice cream dessert. Mm-hmm. It comes in a cup or a bowl, and it's usually vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce, and then oftentimes a cherry on top.
Okay. So, as you can see, the word is pronounced exactly like the day Sunday, but it has a different spelling in the end.
Sundae, sundae.
Right. So this is a chocolate sundae. So when you see this spelling, a sundae with an E, that's the dessert. If you see it with a Y, that's the day.
Exactly. So chocolate sundae, actually a very delicious dessert, but remember, it's ice cream.
That's right. Now, all of these types of food, hamburger, a chocolate sundae, it's called junk food.
Junk food. Well, food, you know. Junk. What is an example of junk, Marco?
Well, something that's not good or useful anymore. So maybe you have trash that you need to get rid of, like an old TV. That's junk.
So my mom would always say, throw away this junk. It's stuff that you don't need. So junk is things that you would throw away. Yeah, junk food is the kind of food that's not healthy for you. It's the food that you shouldn't eat.
Right.
But it tends to be really delicious.
That's right. So, for example, the hamburger, french fries, a chocolate sundae, all this would fall under this category of junk food.
That's right. And one of the things about junk food is that it's high in cholesterol. Now, what is cholesterol, Marco?
That's right. So you always have to be careful. Your doctor says that you shouldn't have or you have to be careful about having high cholesterol. And that's just basically, it's a type of fat that is found in animal products. So, for example, beef has cholesterol. And it's dangerous because it could maybe cause health problems.
That's right. So my friend needed to lower his cholesterol, and his doctor told him he should eat less red meat, eat more vegetables and fruits instead.
That's right. So cholesterol is you'll see it all the time when you're shopping. You'll see that it's low in cholesterol or no sugar or no calories, stuff like that.
Exactly. Now, a food that is very, very high in cholesterol is fried chicken, but it's also very delicious.
That's right, fried chicken. Now, as you see, the first word there is fried, and that means that it was cooked in hot oil.
That's right. And what's important to remember about most American fried chicken is that the chicken is usually put in a batter. So like a milk, egg, flour sauce, and then it's fried. So on the outside, it's very, very crispy and salty.
That's right. So it's covered in like a type of bread, like a crispy bread.
Yeah, that's right. It's usually very greasy, so when you eat it, you have lots of grease on your fingers. But one of the reasons it tastes so good is because, as you say, Marco, it's fried in oil.
That's right. Very good. So this is all the vocab that we have for language takeaway. Let's listen to the dialogue again.
I'm hungry. Let's order up something to eat.
Okay, maybe we can order a soup and a salad from the restaurant down the street.
I was thinking of getting a hamburger, fries, and a chocolate sundae.
You eat too much junk food. That sort of stuff clogs up your arteries and is very high in cholesterol.
Well, I never seem to gain weight, so I don't mind.
It's not only about getting fat or not, it's about being healthy. You could really have some health problems later on.
How about pizza or maybe some fried chicken? Better yet, let's order some hot dogs.
You're a lost cause. All right, now it's time for some phrases on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
So one of the first phrases is actually something that I'm excited to talk about because it comes up a lot in directions when we're giving people directions somewhere. So one of the people in the dialogue said, we can order a soup and salad from the restaurant down the street.
Right. So this is, you're basically telling the person where the restaurant is. And when you say something is down the street, it means that it's nearby.
It is. It's nearby. It's on the same street, or it's just, it's just a few minutes walk from where you are now.
Right. So you can say, my apartment is just down the street from this park.
So it's very close. Or you could say, I know him. He lived down the street from me when we were children.
Okay, so he lived really, really close to you. Very good. Now, when we were talking about junk food and we were talking about how it's not healthy, we said that junk food clogs up your arteries.
All right. A couple important words here. To clog up arteries. The verb to clog. What does that mean? Clog with a G.
It means it gets in the way or obstructs it.
All right. So, for example, if a drain, in my sink, if a drain is clogged, the water does not go down.
Right.
So the water starts to build and build and build. And actually, it's very dangerous because if it comes up too much, the water will go on the floor. But that's a drain, that's a sink. If you're talking about the heart, you would say that cholesterol clogs up your arteries.
Right. So your arteries are like these tubes where blood passes. And of course, if they're clogged up, then blood can't pass.
That's right. And if it's very serious, people sometimes have to have heart surgery to clear those arteries, to take the blockage, the clogging, away from the arteries.
That's right. Okay, so that is to clog something up, or something is clogged up. Now, moving on, when we were giving suggestions, we said, all right, well, how about pizza or maybe some fried chicken? Better yet, let's order some hot dogs.
All right, now this is a great phrase, as you say, Marco, for offering a suggestion. You could say, I think we should eat hamburgers. Better yet. Okay, so what does this mean? This means I actually had a better idea while I was telling you my other idea.
So it can be used in the middle of a sentence, like here, right? It's kind of like an interjection. Better yet, you know what? Let's get some pizza.
So it's better than the idea you just had.
Right.
So let's go swimming. Oh, better yet, let's go play basketball.
Right, exactly. Now, towards the end, our friend said, you know what? You're a lost cause. What does that mean? What does this phrase mean? You're a lost cause.
You're a lost cause. It's an interesting phrase. This is basically a way of saying, I can do nothing to change you. You have a bad habit or you have this bad quality, and anything I do, it's not going to help.
Right. So something that is a lost cause, it means it's hopeless, helpless.
That's right. I cannot do anything to change it.
Okay. All right, a lot of great vocab here. Let's listen to the dialogue one last time.
I'm hungry. Let's order up something to eat.
Okay, maybe we can order a soup and a salad from the restaurant down the street.
I was thinking of getting a hamburger, fries, and a chocolate sundae.
You eat too much junk food. That sort of stuff clogs up your arteries and is very high in cholesterol.
Well, I never seem to gain weight, so I don't mind.
It's not only about getting fat or not, it's about being healthy. You could really have some health problems later on.
How about pizza or maybe some fried chicken? Better yet, let's order some hot dogs.
You're a lost cause. All right, so talking about junk food, we took a look at cholesterol. Now, apparently, not all cholesterol is bad.
That's right. There are two kinds of cholesterol, HDLs and LDLs, and one kind is good for you and the other kind is bad for you. And so it's important when you talk to your doctor, you ask your doctor if the bad cholesterol is high for you. Because if it's the good cholesterol that's high, you're probably not going to experience health problems.
Right.
But if you have really high bad cholesterol, then that's something that you should think about when you eat and when you choose the kinds of foods that you eat.
Right. So usually, my doctor always used to tell me to not eat so many eggs because eggs are high in cholesterol.
That's right. Red meat and eggs and salty foods, I think. But generally speaking, I think it's good just to eat a lot of vegetables and to balance out your diet.
So vegetables don't really even have cholesterol.
No, they're low in cholesterol, and I think they also have a lot of vitamins and minerals that your body needs.
It's very, very interesting because actually all food that is usually very, very delicious is high in cholesterol or high in calories. It's bad for you.
It's basically junk food, yeah. So potato chips, hot dogs, pizza, fried chicken, all of these delicious foods, they're all considered junk food and they're all really bad for you.
That's right. All right, a very interesting topic. Now, there are certain local types of junk food that people consider to be junk food. Like, for example, if you go maybe to the Middle East, you'll have the wraps, right? That could be considered a type of junk food.
I guess, yeah.
Because it's fast, it's greasy.
It is pretty greasy, although it's delicious, like a shawarma wrap.
Exactly. So maybe you can let us know what local type of junk food you have. This is mostly American: burgers, fries, hot dogs.
Exactly.
What is it in your country?
Let us know. Our website is englishpod.com.
We'll see you guys there.
Bye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Mixed vegetables served cold. Salad. Deep fried strips of potato. French fries. A type of sandwich with the beef patty. Hamburger. Food that is not healthy. Junk food. To block or get in the way of something. Clog. A fatty substance found in animal tissue. Cholesterol. What do you think? How about bread with tomato sauce and cheese on top? Pizza. Chicken pieces cooked in hot oil. Fried chicken. A food with bread and sausage in the middle. Hot dog. A useless or hopeless situation. Lost cause. Let's try that faster. Bread with tomato sauce and cheese on top. Pizza. Chicken pieces cooked in hot oil. Fried chicken. A useless or hopeless situation. Lost cause. What do you think? How about a food with bread and sausage in the middle? Hot dog. Mixed vegetables served cold. Salad. Deep fried strips of potato. French fries. A type of sandwich with the beef patty. Hamburger. Food that is not healthy. Junk food. A fatty substance found in animal tissue. Cholesterol. To block or get in the way of something. Clog. Now say the word and hear it in a sentence. Junk food. I have junk food 1 or twice a week. Junk food. If you want to lose weight, you should try having less junk food. Junk food. The good thing about junk food is that it's fast and cheap. Clog. The water pipes in my house are clogged. Clog. Your toilet is clogged. You should call a plumber. Clog. I am worried that eating all these fatty foods will clog up my heart. Cholesterol. Eggs are high in cholesterol. Cholesterol. I have to watch what I eat because I have high cholesterol. Cholesterol. It is dangerous to have high cholesterol levels because it can lead to health complications. How about? How about we go to the movies instead? How about? How about I cook and you clean the house? How about? How about we go on vacation this year? Lost cause. This company is a lost cause. Lost cause. He doesn't want to be helped. He is a lost cause. Lost cause. Continue fighting the disease. It's not a lost cause.